If you guys remember that super long drive I was whining about, I don't know if I actually whined about it in the video, but I had to drive my mom's car to Tampa to surprise her with it. But the main reason, well, not the main reason, I kind of double used this trip out here because we were doing Porsche detailing stuff with Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage and his friend Billy. Hey Matt.
Where's Don?
Dude, I literally missed all the fun.
No, you missed like the grunt manual labor part.
Yeah, but I was excited because I was gonna try to polish it myself, and I was gonna mess it up and make more work for you guys.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, you missed the transformation part.
Well, the good thing is I did like take videos on my phone, and like I noted a lot of the swirls and like stuff in the paint, so it's not like I can't appreciate it, you know?
Yeah, it corrected out so easily.
Really?
It's amazing, yeah.
Is that Porsche
so
paint?
We're washing it to prep it for PPF the first thing in the morning.
Sweet.
You gonna meet us here at 6 a.m. tomorrow?
So I'm gonna let Matt give you guys the rundown on what's been going on here.
For your video, since mine's normally dry and boring, you're giving me a hard time about that.
Yeah, Matt was just filming his video. I'm like, dude, you're not even excited for me. This is a huge moment. And he's just like, take the sticker off.
I already have a GT3. This is old news.
Yeah.
So, no, but it does look good, man. I'm pumped for it. So, this is cool. This is Billy. Billy's the expert. He's the guy that, like, I take my car to get done. And I normally do my own car. So he did most of the work, and I did the top with the easy parts, and I did all the hard parts.
All right, so give us a rundown on what you guys did. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to be filming it.
Believe it or not, new cars need to be dialed in. I mean, you showed in your video some of the scratches and swirls.
I didn't, but I will. I have like one clip. You remember the clip I texted you when I first picked up the car? So in the paint, like actually straight from Porsche, when does it happen, do you think? Like actually when the car's being built, when it's being transported, or
all the above?
Yeah, so you'll see like light swirls and kind of haziness and paint and the carbon fiber.
They only have a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's moving down the assembly line. So
and they're polishing it or sanding it or, you know, perfecting it, and usually what they do.
They get the big stuff out. So if there's a piece of dirt in the paint, they can zip it out and quickly polish it and send it on its way. Right. But they don't get it all the way out, so it's that hazing you're seeing.
Because I mean, we had 4 guys, what, 8 hours. You know, we have, you know, 20 man hours, 20, 30 man hours into polishing this. They're obviously not going to do that at the factory or at the dealership. So if you can help it, you don't want the dealership touching it. So we decontaminated it, so we washed it with a special soap, and then we got the iron out of it with a special chemical, and then we removed any other contamination with a clay bar. Many of you have probably seen a clay bar where we use this spray lubricant and got all the decontamination out, but that scratches the paint even more. And so then we bring it in and we polish it in 2 steps. So we used a heavier compound polish with a microfiber pad, and then we swapped to a foam pad and did a finishing polish, and did the whole surface, taped off all of the rubber so we don't hit any of that. And the car looks incredible.
Took the wing off.
Yeah, took the wing off, polished underneath the wing. We hit all the little, you know, all these little areas with the little 1-inch, all in the cracks, all in here, you know, edge work. We did the door jams on that.
It may seem kind of a little bit excessive, especially after just getting the car, but the main reason why everyone's going so crazy with it is because we're going to be doing a paint protection film, and if the car's not dialed in and you go and put paint protection film over it, you're kind of screwed.
You could argue that when you put PPF on it, that it covers up all of that, but...
Oh, that's kind of like your idea with Swiss Track, so like it covers up all the dirt, right?
Seriously though,
got him.
There was a big scratch right here, and you wouldn't have been able to see the scratch. We got it out completely, so I got the scratch out, but there was a huge scratch right on the hood, right on the roof there, that if we did PPF, it would cover it up.
So I know a lot of people were kind of telling me right away, I actually got a lot of DMs from people like, oh, let me expel your car, let me wrap it clear to protect it and everything. Can you give me like the breakdown? Can we just go over to your car and just kind of talk a little bit? Because I feel like Expel kind of is what most people know.
Well, Expel is the biggest brand, right? I mean, it's Expel also has done a really great job of creating templates for these guys.
Templates. We still use their templates even.
So there's a cutout. Was it a big plotter?
Yeah, we got a plotter, a 60-inch roll of film.
So there's a 5-foot long roll or wide roll of film, and then it will cut out patterns for the cars, and so they are the most popular largely because of that. It's good film.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of the thicker options available, but most detailers, at least I prefer Suntech. It's a little clearer.
Wait, so we're gonna we'll pause before we show your car real quick because I have an idea. So do they have a template for the sticker? to cut out for the GT3RS?
No.
On the side?
Yeah.
No, we have to hand cut that out.
I was gonna say, if they had a template for the sticker, then I could take that template on my plotter and I could recut out the sticker instead of paying $800 for another sticker.
I'm begging Adam to take the sticker.
What do you guys think? Do you think I should take it off?
I think you'll be applauded by everybody except for, you know, nerd dads who don't know anything about cool.
You are a nerd dad that doesn't know anything about cool.
Look at my car. Tell me I don't know about cool.
No, your car is cool. I'll give you that. So,
my car's lowered, yours isn't. I don't have a big giant sticker on it. I want to take all the stickers off.
my logic behind the sticker,
We have a vote going on Instagram, so people
Do you?
can tell you yes or no. And tomorrow morning, we're gonna rip it off or keep it, depending on that poll.
regardless, I want to take the sticker off because I don't like the idea of cutting the film around the sticker.
Yeah,
so
we would have to cut out that S in order to get, not by we mean the PPF guy would have to do it.
oh, should we talk about, oh man, there's so much to talk about how we're not doing the whole car?
Yeah.
So Matt,
I did my whole car.
and he's very annoyed because of little areas like this. So on the door handle, you can see kind of the edge of where the film is. Where else are you annoyed, Matt?
Now, in fairness, white is the hardest car to do. Now, and mine, I drove in the rain this morning, but so it doesn't normally look quite that dirty, but white is problematic. Because you get little areas of dirt that build up. This is part of the disadvantage of PPF. You can't bring it to that rubber. You have to terminate it somewhere. So mine has every square inch done, and I wouldn't redo it. This one piece, this has to be a piece that comes all the way down here, all the way here. So think about that. That piece has to be all one section.
So
and it doesn't really add any value. So we're going to do just this section, which is really a high impact area for you.
So if you can have like a clear vinyl on a car like this, or whatever you want to call it, clear bra, that has so much clarity and looks so nice.
But it still doesn't look as good as your car does now.
Yeah, but why can't companies make a vinyl wrap that has this level of finish? Why is that not a thing?
Well, vinyl is a lot thinner, isn't it? Isn't vinyl thinner than
Yeah, it's
PPF?
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Why, like, wouldn't, because that would be, if you could wrap a car that looked this nice.
Well, there's lots of orange peel, just like your vinyl has orange peel in it, but you just can't see it because it's clear. You can't see it as much.
I understand.
So when you're doing some big purple, candy apple purple color, you don't have a choice.
Or chrome.
But even now, like we go look at your hood versus my hood, there's more, like especially from the angle where you see the light, there's more orange peel. It's not.
Oh yeah, I can see it in this angle. Yeah. But you really need to look at it in the right light. But the question is, in 3 years' time, if we still own these cars, what will look better, rock chips or orange peel?
Orange peel.
I mean, I don't know.
That was a rhetorical question.
No, I mean to me it's not that clear. I mean that to me looks so much better.
Yeah.
If it is, you can take off the film in 3 years or whatever, and your paint's perfect.
In other words, I just bought a really nice, really comfortable, really expensive couch, and I put plastic on it, so I never get to enjoy it.
But then when you go to sell it in 3 years, then the next owner gets to enjoy it. No, I know, but like that's the logic behind clear bra, and like I kind of, if I cared more.
Peace of mind. The reason I did mine is because I go to the mountains and we get destroyed.
Yeah.
So in a year and a half, I'll pull it off. It'll certainly look better than having 1,000 rock chips in the front.
So typically I mean, if I was on the same level of appreciation as you in regards to paint, I 100% would not do it, just for the reason that you're saying.
You're gonna love it. I mean, it's gonna make the whole ownership experience much less stressful.
Drive it without worrying about, you can drive behind a truck and you don't have to worry as much as.
And it's gonna look 90% as good.
Well, my logic behind it too is, like, I know I've explained before how these cars hold their resale so much. You kind of get in like what the GT3 club, I guess, and you just keep on trading up when the new ones come out, and you don't really lose much money. So you do want to kind of come at a car like this with the mindset of not owning it forever. So rundown on what's gonna actually be clear broad on the car.
So we're gonna do full front fenders. Obviously you wouldn't do this. Headlights, fender, hood, bumper. Then we're gonna do the entire roof, mirror. We're gonna do, I don't know where he draws the line, but this main section. Is he gonna do? We have him do double.
Usually he can do a tear off. What we call a tear off.
So what he'll do is do a large section and then do a tear off like this big. So that way you can pull off. So when this, let's say one trip to the mountains, this gets destroyed, then you can tear it off and then put another piece on without having to pull the larger piece.
That's what I need on my drift cars. That's sick.
So it's protection on top of protection, and then we'll put a coating on top of that. And then we'll put a topper on top of the coating, and then another topper on top of the topper, and then we'll put probably a drying aid on top of that, so you'll be good to go.
Jeez.
Bullets at it.
So what I kind of don't understand though, is it because the front, I mean, it's not that wide compared to other cars that I have, but why do so many rocks and stuff wind up here?
This sticks out, and look at that. Just look at the angle. So this grabs anything that comes off the front tire.
And I guess yeah, because most cars that I have don't have this crazy arch out here.
Most cars, the rear end is at the same width as the front end.
And the sticky tires too pick up everything.
Yeah. Then we're gonna PPF this.
Which they will have to cut around the letters, unfortunately.
Where you get hit is here.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How do rocks get there?
Well, comes off the roof, and then because you know, think about how air is.
Should we PPF the front window?
Don't want to see, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
do
do
either clear Plex or Exo Shield or something like that. I tried it.
Don't like it?
Oh, it's good. It just didn't. The install didn't pan out. I had all kinds of dust under it, so I'm gonna have to redo it. But Exo Shield is a good thing to have for the mountains.
Yeah. Or
the track. Because these windows do crack.
Oh, I didn't even get to show you guys the best part yet. This shop is insane. Matt, did you have a part in this place?
A little bit. I like to think he drew some inspiration from the. This is Arbor Gray too, isn't it? The wall.
I believe it is. Yeah.
I kept geeking out and telling.
Signature color.
Yeah, I kept geeking out and telling Billy how much I love this place. It seems a little bit more bright than most of your places, Matt. I think just because of like the white floors, it like really reflects the light more.
Yeah, that is significantly. My floors are always gray.
Man, this place looks unreal. That looks way easier than I would have expected.
Well, new.
Yeah.
True. I do like it without the sticker, Matt.
So much better.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna go back on.
Nope.
Matt's trying to get me to take off the Porsche emblem on the hood. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Look how cool. Please. Look at how this just looks so smooth without it.
Yeah, but if I take that off, then you're gonna make me take the back emblem off too.
You can keep the back before we do the PPF though.
Yeah.
Once the film's on it, it's on. Because it goes over top of it.
How much is that sticker? Like 9,000?
I think it's like $90.
As per usual, I'm just like barely going on the surface of the detail that Matt goes into. So if you want to know more information about the actual products and the process that goes behind detailing a car like this, Matt's videos have extreme detail and will give you all of the information you could ever desire. So one of the cool things in the same exact lot, oh, this is day 2 by the way, as Billy's shop, there's a shop right here that does the paint protection film. So we're about to walk in and check out what's going on.
This is Ryan. He's like top 2 in the world, like at this, like super legit. So I've been following him around all day, and we've been working on the different areas of the car. He's working on the rocker area. We're actually gonna do 2 layers here. So you'll have the main layer, which we're putting on now. This is Suntech Ultra. The reason why we chose this is its clarity is better.
I can show this front fender's already done. You guys probably can't even tell.
Yeah, so we, the edges, so he'll wrap all these edges. You can see the edges on the hood. So the whole front end's done. Front bumper's done. The front bumper's 2 big pieces.
We can't find the seam though, so I don't believe Matt.
It's there somewhere. And then one, a little piece here. So he'll go and grab all the edges still, he'll massage all this at the end, get all the rest of the water out. This is done. And then we'll do the mirrors, this whole thing, this section here. But what he does, it's so different. I mean, he wraps all the edges. It's not so different, but not every place does that.
Well, I think you were saying that the templates don't really allot for that, so you kind of have to modify them.
Yeah, they modify the templates in order to be able to take and carry these edges and run them, like into these sections. Like the edge here is run into behind the gas cap instead of just ending it here. He ends it and edge wraps it.
So there are certain areas, I guess, like for front bumper removal and stuff, where you can't necessarily wrap around the edge. And you were just saying when we washed it just to be very careful of that.
Because you could remove the bumper, pull the edges, but then think about it, every time the car flexes, that will peel. The adhesive will fail.
Yeah, and these cars flex a lot, right?
Yeah, especially with you driving.
But this line back here seems pretty similar to like the stock line.
But the stock one was this piece that went like this. So we carried all the way into the door frame here and all the way down. So the stock one stopped here, here, and here. So we just blew it out. Plus this film is way better than the film that comes from the factory.
Yeah.
It's super yellow and cheap. This is the best there is.
It's really interesting to me. Like, I've never actually seen the process of this and kind of what goes into it. How much water is used? It's pretty cool.
My shoes are always wet.
Yeah. So is that just water? Is it some sort of alcohol?
This is soap and water.
Interesting.
Baby soap.
And then the water's, I'm imagining, just kind of helps press all the bubbles out and everything?
Yep. Yeah, you got a slip solution, and then your other solution is water and alcohol. It just helps tack it faster.
So like on that edge there, he'll hit with a little bit of alcohol. It allows it to tack so we can go and push the water out of the rest of the piece.
It's pretty cool. Yet again, another, did you have any part in this shop, or is this all him? This place is really nice too.
This is all him, yeah.
Notice the Swiss tracks?
Yeah.
It's a really cool place. That's a legit plotter if I've ever seen one. He's actually doing the wing right now, which Matt, you're saying does actually get chipped up?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about how air goes over the roof, and then the aerodynamics of things. Any rock that would glance off the hood and go and hit the front end of the lip, or the wing, the front end of it, and then the tail edge as well. So this is important. So we're going to see what it looks like with the film on the letters, and then
he might cut it out
Ryan's
for us.
Really excited about cutting those out one by one. We'll see. My vote was to rip the letters off, but I'm happy that I won on the...
You won one battle.
Yeah. Then I stepped out. I forgot about the step, and I stepped out and just raked my shin.
So you put wing behind, like in between.
Right down here. That's the scar for...
Never lived that down.
2 years for it to heal. Right there. So
it's like the bicycle cleat swinging around and digging into your
it's up this high, and I just went one of these, stepped off, and oh man, that hurt.
Was that the day before our Smoky strip?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. So cool watching him do it. It's a big piece.
Make it look so darn easy.
Oh, I know. So is the steamer kind of instead of where people would use like a heat gun if it was like a wrap?
Right. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Makes it still, I guess, moist so you can still apply it, whereas heat would dry out the film.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I couldn't work these fingers out as well.
That's pretty cool. So Matt, give us the rundown on paint protection film on headlights.
Headlights, we sat here and went back and forth several times. The risk to not having it is they're guaranteed to get chipped up and hit by rocks. The risk to putting paint protection film on it, because it's so rounded, he has to stretch the film. And then the glue in the film could theoretically pull or compromise the UV coat or the top coat of the headlights. So you're kind of there's risk either way.
But that would be the next owner's problem, so we don't really care, right?
Yeah, theoretically.
I mean, you could wet sand them off, couldn't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen people do that.
They never look as good once you get rid of the initial UV coat. And once they delaminate, and you have to sand them and re-clear them, they never look as good as they did new.
We don't look good with rock chips either, Matt.
They don't. So
I think the solution is just to not drive the car.
You need two cars.
Yeah.
Wrap in a bubble and one to drive.
Sounds like Matt.
There you go.
So I have to head out because I have to start packing for Australia since I leave in about 24 hours. I'm trying to beat traffic. So Matt, I know the next thing kind of after all the PPF ordeal, you and Billy are going to do the coating on the car. So I know that we've talked like briefly about coatings before, but just to go into a little bit more detail. Obviously, if people want a crazy amount of detail, they can check out your channel, but just to briefly cover what's going to happen on the car.
Well, so we're PPFing some of the car, and the PPF has a top coat. but we're going to coat over top of that. And so we're going to apply the same coating across all the painted surface of the car. We'll also do the trim as well, like all this black plastic. We're going to remove the wheels and coat those. So we're doing G-Technic Crystal Serum Ultra, which is their pro version. You have to be authorized, Billy's authorized to install it. So we'll put that on, and then we're going to top that with a layer called EXO. We'll do 2 layers of that on top. So that becomes a sacrificial layer. So we have protection, and then protection on top of the protection, and then another layer of protection, and another layer of protection on that. And then when you wash the car, you'll put another layer of protection on top of that.
So if someone isn't super familiar with an actual coating, how would you describe it briefly?
You know, there are pros and cons to it. The main pro is longevity. It'll last a lot longer.
But like, what is it?
Wax.
Like as opposed to, if most people know what wax is, a coating, how would you explain it?
Coating is a semi-permanent silicon dioxide-based resin, right? So it's a layer that we put. What is the coating thickness? So if this is PPF is 8 millimeters. A coating is what is it? Some fraction of a millimeter. So it adds a layer that bonds to the top surface of the clear coat, and it lasts a lot longer. Adds chemical resistance, adds a little gloss, a little depth, a little clarity. It's like a wax on steroids.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I know, I think it was my chaser was coated and we were trying to correct it. But correct me if I'm wrong, you have to like literally sand the coating off. That's how durable it is.
Yeah. Either a heavy polish or sanding. But a coating isn't going to do anything for rock chips or scratches or anything like that. It's just going to aid in chemical resistance, maybe help you a little bit with reducing the chance to scratch it when you're washing. Yeah. And it makes it more hydrophobic, so the water falls off the car. That's,
cool.
That's the main I guess selling point of it. But it'll hopefully harden up the top layer and hopefully keep us from scratching the surface longer. And then in a couple of years we'll have to compound it off and do it again.
Paint protection film definitely isn't for everyone or every car, but with the GT3RS, I do plan on tracking it. I do plan on doing rallies with lots of other cars going very high speeds with very wide sticky tires, and when you do that stuff, rock chips are kind of inevitable. So just trying to protect whatever we can, and super fortunate that Matt was able to hook me up with such awesome people that are really good at doing what they do. And Matt has been filming like crazy super detailed videos, so if you guys do want to learn anything more in detail about kind of the process with correcting a car like that, the paint protection film or the coating, Matt has really great videos that will literally tell you everything that you need to know about everything. So as always, I'll link his stuff in the description, but now we're gonna shoot back over to Orlando, hopefully not sit in too much traffic, get this car dialed so it can go back to my mom, start packing for Australia.
When you said